Right. What advice do you have to new correctional officers, man, that are literally in the position that they're in right now, dude?
Leave.
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 Leave the department. Go work for another department, work for the sheriffs, go to CHP, work for a department that actually cares about you.
And you say that because of the toxic environment?
The toxic environment all the way around in CDCR. Leave. If you have no other choice, try to find a job where you can stay out of the mix.
What is the problem that you see with the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation? Is it the leadership, the command, the structure, the machine? What do you see? Egos?
Egos and leadership, and I think they're overthinking things. Overthinking things. Yeah, it's the rehabilitation, but when you have inmates that don't want to rehabilitate themselves, why are you going to force them to? Honestly. And then the cadets they're hiring, I wouldn't hire them at my job. Some of these guys have come in. I'm sorry.
One comparison when I was a lieutenant, one comparison I said was like, damn, these new kids are like dog catchers that are afraid of dogs.
Exactly.
Why would you join the fucking job?
Yeah. Exactly.
With the climate the way it is now, with your experience, would you be able to maneuver without getting in trouble? Or would you still kind of have to change up your tactics a little bit? Or you just fucking put the blindfold on and...
Honestly, I'm not one of those that can avoid stuff, dude. Like, if I see my partner get himself in a wreck, I'm that guy that's going to be right there. Come on, man, let's calm down. Let's handle this way or whatever. I can't do that. That's not ingrained in me.
But I'm talking about inmate utilizing contraband, smoking dope, getting high, slamming. Is it?
So we all had our own ways of doing things in the unit. If we found a bag of wine and he was a programmer, did you take it? Hey, man, cap it off. Or you pull it out, let him know you found it, and walk away. He's a programmer. He's not going to cause any problems. Cool. You know, the dope, weapons, that's something I'd kind of push, especially when it came to syringes and stuff like that. I'm getting you on that because now you're putting me at risk. If I walk in there, I get stuck with something. That's why a lot of times, if you build up a rapport with the inmates, hey, man, you have anything in your house that could poke me. You tell me now, I'll flush it, and I won't write you up for it.
Yeah.
And that's what I started utilizing towards the end of my career. And it made it, for the most part, the guys that knew me knew I was legit. I'd rather not get poked and not write this guy up than get poked. Because now I'm going on the cocktail, and I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't in a couple months. You couldn't have sex. You couldn't.
Yeah, fuck
you were sick as a dog and everything else. Yeah, it wasn't worth the risk to me. So,
damn, dude.
Well, hope I answered your question.
Yeah, fucking A, man. Do you have any last closing words for the audience, dude? It was a fucking honor having you on the show, bro. It was like a trip down memory lane.
I enjoyed what I did when I did it. When I had a great supporting cast around me, you can make a unit work. You can run a unit. You can run a yard when you have great staff and great leadership. But when you have wardens that are trying to put their hands in the mix and try to tell you how to run a yard when they've never worked on a fucking line themselves, they just have a fucking degree and taking the fast track up. Well, you've never worked on the line. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You really don't.
Real quick, what's your take on wardens that were never correctional officers?
You should never be a fucking warden. If you weren't in law enforcement in some capacity, you should never be a warden. You don't know what goes on behind those doors. You don't know what goes on in those buildings. You go home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You hear little bits, but you haven't experienced it firsthand. You haven't experienced getting gassed, getting spit on, getting headbutted, getting kicked, walking guys across the yard when it's 110 degrees out, and you got full gear on, or getting held over, or when we do the shakedowns and we're in there, excuse me, you have dick dust all over you, and you're fucking got, going in through some inmate cell that's a nasty pack rat, and you haven't experienced that. So until you can experience that, how the hell can you be a warden?